Hello.
Hello.
We are live. Now, I know, guys, we normally do it out in the garden, but we're doing it indoors today. Now, there's a reason for that, because we didn't have time to set up in the garden. And the reason we didn't have time to set up in the garden because someone was very busy today.
Yeah.
And has just come back.
So basically, I went out on, what day did I go out? Tuesday, was it? Yeah, I went out. So I went out on Tuesday to do the video.
Oh, yes, you did. Yes.
So
yes.
I went out on
God.
Tuesday.
So time just goes so fast. I just think, oh my God, it's Friday already. Happy Friday, everybody. Anyway.
Happy Friday.
I hope everybody is well, and thank you for joining us for the live. Now, anyway, Kelly's got a nice little story to tell you.
So basically, I went out on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So I went out on Tuesday, and you would have seen the video because it got uploaded today. And went and did pastries and all that because Mark was working, so I thought, you know what, I might as well go out and sort of do some like filming. So I went out and did that, and then came back, and then we did the live, and then we shot the video after the live, I think, didn't we? So I've been since then. I've been editing it, right, because we had so much footage, and I really wanted to try and condense it to 30 minutes or less. In fact, I think I condensed it down to 30 minutes and 55 seconds, I think. But you guys missed a whole load of stuff because there was so much stuff. But anyway, so I half had done it and then started uploading it. But then I had to go out because I was going out today, and today I went to Canterbury. And so I only half did it. So while I was still in Canterbury, Mark called me and I said, oh, could you finish uploading the video? So then he finished uploading the rest of the video. So there you go. So it's all uploaded. I hope you enjoy it. It's pastries and cakes.
We certainly enjoyed eating them as well. So yes, it was expensive. How much did you spend on cakes in the end?
And 2 pizzas.
Yeah, go on, tell them.
Roughly around £78.
Oh my word. So anyway, but we do it for you guys to enjoy. Well, I say to you guys to enjoy, so you guys can actually see what is around there. Yes, I know it's a bit pricey to spend on that cakes, but we did. I will tell you something. If you do watch those cakes, we did go through them.
Yeah.
I've got to say, there's only, out of all of them, there's only half of 3 left.
Oh, really?
Oh, and your donut. You haven't touched your donut yet.
No.
The donut time one.
Donut time. Because the thing was,
I did eat the chocolate donut in you.
What happened was, it spent £78, but obviously, when you guys decide, oh, you want to try this cake shop or that cake shop, you're not going to spend £78. You're just going to choose maybe what we've shown you. So you would go and buy 1 or 2 pastries. I just did it because obviously we wanted to do taste test. We wanted to see what was out there, and all of that type of stuff. Yeah, so we really enjoyed.
We did
a lot of those pastries, and I would definitely go to some of those shops again.
Oh yeah.
In fact, though, because they didn't have a big selection at Buns from Home, because I didn't really. Buns from Home was okay, but you really enjoyed Buns from Home.
I did. Now, the thing is, if you do watch the video with the Buns from Home one as well, what I loved about it was like an upgrade to a Cinnabon. Again, no offense, Cinnabon. Yours are very nice. I do love a Cinnabon, but instead of it being that, I call it like, well, I call it like a Chelsea bun.
Yeah.
So for us in England, you call it a Chelsea bun, with obviously the cinnamon bits in the middle. This was actually like very crispy pastry. And what was nice about it as well, where the bits are sort of cooked and not burnt, but almost there in the oven, they were really, really, really caramelized. So it was so nice, and I love that one. Georgina, hello.
Hey, Georgina.
How have you been? I hope you're well. Hope you're good. Glad. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Oh, I've got some treats to show. Anyway,
we'll do those
show off in a second.
Is this the Buns at Home review?
Yeah. So, well, you'll see the review. I've got the problem with me was, or not the problem with
Friday
me.
Too, sorry.
Happy Friday. The thing was, when I went in there, I wasn't enamored with the greeting, but also they didn't have very many things there. So they had the Dolce de Leche, they had a chocolate one, I think. They had an almond one, and they had a banana one. And I think you really liked the banana one. I remember I'm sure you said you liked the banana one. I didn't get the banana one because I don't like banana. I don't like banana. But also because you're not a lover of banana bread either.
I mean, I don't listen. I'd eat it, but my philosophy is I call it the baked bean philosophy. Which is I'd eat baked beans, but if I was to go out in a restaurant, I would never. And if it was on the menu, I would never order it. Right. So that's what I call the baked beans. My baked beans philosophy. It's a food that I would eat, but would never order out.
Right.
So if banana bread, if your mum, for example, cooked banana bread and said, "Hey, do you want some banana bread?" in front of me, I'd eat it.
Yeah.
But if it were in a cake shop and banana bread was an option, I wouldn't.
You wouldn't
order it. No.
Right.
Banana was heavily cardamom flavored.
Oh,
now Georgina said I had the opposite.
Yeah.
Had great customer service, got given a free one, but I didn't like it.
Right. Because I remember you said you had great customer service. But I didn't have great customer service when I went in there. But also they didn't have a lot of things at 11:40 in the morning. They didn't have very many things there.
Now, Georgina's just said, I prefer more bready buns, if that makes sense. Georgina, that makes perfect sense.
Do you mean like tea cakes?
No. I was just saying, Cinnabon, for me, was like a Chelsea bun with this thing on it. But that was a bun. This was almost, it reminded me of puff pastry. So instead of the bun, it was very, did you find this? It was, the cakes were actually very, very dense.
Yeah, they're heavy.
Yes, but I love the cinnamon. I preferred the cinnamon one to Cinnabon, and I love Cinnabon.
Sorry, Di, go on.
No, I was going to say, but I did not like the Dolce de Leche. I thought that was too heavy. I much preferred I say don't like it. Was okay, but I wouldn't order it again.
But the problem is with buns from home, those weren't the things that I was expecting. Because if you look on their website, the pictures that they've got is like filled puff pastries.
Yeah, well, funny enough, so Georgina's just said, the chap did tell me the banana had cardamom in it. Now, I do like cardamom. I'm just having a chai, which does have a lot of cardamom in it. But, I say a lot, but it's not that rich. But I do totally agree with you. It tasted more like a croissant, which is true. That's how I felt more. It was not like a Cinnabon. It was much more like that sort of flaky pastry. So it was a lot denser than the bun. But I really enjoyed that. But I know Georgina said that she preferred the bun.
Yeah, I didn't think it was great. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't horrible or anything like that. But it wasn't what got me, first of all, was the customer service. And then the second thing what got me was that it wasn't what I was expecting when I walked in there, purely because when I looked at their website, the pictures that they have is all these puff pastries.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? And it was very much like the strawberry puff pastry that I got from Chestnut, right?
Yeah.
So I was expecting like savory ones and sweet ones and all, and I'd be able to get to choose. So when I walked there, and I thought, am I at the right place? It says buns from home, and that's all they had. So I didn't bother getting the chocolate one, and because I wasn't enamored with what they had, I just picked the almond one because in my mind I was thinking of almond croissant because I wanted to compare it with an almond croissant. And then the second one, Dolce de Leche. So I didn't bother getting the chocolate one. And obviously I didn't get the banana one because I don't like banana.
Georgina said, I didn't want to give you my review, Kelly, until you tried yours. Now, Georgina also said, to be honest, relieved I didn't love it as it on my way to work. And that would be dangerous on my wallet and my waist. Well, do you know what? That is so true. We were saying that as well in terms of the cakes themselves, because we spent a lot on cakes purely because we wanted to do a review.
Yeah.
There's no way. I know we love our cake, but we would never spend that amount if we on a normal time.
No, not on a normal time. Yeah.
That's more than a meal we spent on that, but we just wanted to have that on this sort of review.
Yeah.
But now with the customer service is very interesting. So I always say you can't really judge it on one picture. You had poor, but Georgina had really good.
Don't get me wrong. I will go there again. I won't go to that one again, but I will try another one again. I want to try the puff pastries that I saw.
Well, even if you went there again, it might just happen. We won't say the name of the server, but it might just happen to be the name of the server. So, and the server could have just been
There were two servers there.
Well,
and they were both. What it was, I walked into the shop, right? I didn't know what was going on. So what happened was I walked into the shop and there was a customer in there and they were chat to the two. So one was had stuff that was supposed to be baked. I don't know if he had stuff in the oven already, but at 11:40 in the morning, I would expect that thing to be full because people start going to lunch at 12 o'clock. So at 11:40 in the morning, it was half empty. The things were half empty. So so there wasn't very much choice. So I don't know what their normal choice is, but when I went to the website, it's pictures of puff pastry. So I wasn't, although it says buns from home, I wasn't expecting the buns. I was expecting these puff pastries. That's what I specifically went in there for. I thought, oh, I'll try these puff pastries that they've got. Some of them had like a custard cream in it. Some of them had savory ones, like, you know, big squares. But it's exactly the same as the one from Chestnut, right? But obviously they have their own fillings and stuff in their own way that they're going to make the puff pastry. So that's what I was expecting. So when I went in there and I was like, oh, there's a customer already in there. Unbeknownst to me, I didn't know that that person was a customer because they would chat. He looked to me like a security guard that was from another shop and just came in for a chat. That's what it looked like to me, right? So I just thought, oh, they're all friends and they chat. And then I realized, so I walked in and they didn't even acknowledge me when I walked in. They looked at me and then were still chatting and doing whatever they were doing. So I just stood there, you know, patiently. And then the guy said, oh, hi. And then I could see him doing the coffee. And so I thought, oh, the guy's waiting for a coffee. Right. Okay, cool. So now that's clicked into place. And he didn't say, oh, I'll be with you in a minute. He just said, hi. And then sort of looked down and sort of still did the coffee. So I just stood there as I think, okay. He gave him the coffee and then they were still chatting. And then during the chat, the man finally turned to me and said, oh, how can I help you? And I said, oh, can I get the almond croissant, the dolce de leche? Quickly put it in the bag so he could carry on chatting to the man who didn't leave the shop. And he said, oh, wait. He said to the guy, oh, wait. He was going to give him something for free or something. So they wrapped my thing. He just tapped it in. Didn't even put it in 2 separate bags or anything like that. Put it in the same bag. Didn't even ask me if I wanted it in separate bags. But there was a couple of shops like that who didn't ask me if I wanted it. But anyway, so I just tapped my card and left. So I didn't feel like, oh, hi, how are you? Come in.
Too bad. I mean, it could have been a lot worse. Obviously, I've received worse customer service in other places.
Yeah.
I think basically, obviously, that's his mate. He just wants to chat. I do agree that it's bad that they didn't have much stuff at 11 o'clock. I mean, years ago, a flatmate, friend of mine, worked in a bakery in central London, and he had to get up at 4 a.m. to turn all the ovens on at 5.
Yeah.
And the idea is you must have full cakes out by 6, 7 a.m.
Oh, they would have had a morning rush, right? On people on the way to work, which I understand. But while you're having your morning, there's 2 of them, and 2 of them can't serve because there's only one bit that you can serve from.
Yeah.
Right. The other bit is there's a sort of glass plate up or perspex plate up because that's where he keeps the things that's going to be ready to go in the oven. So by the time you've had your morning rush, which should be over by about 10 o'clock, by 10 o'clock, you should have things in the oven already about to come out to be replenished.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, anyway, it could have been a one-off. It could have been his mate. It could have been his brother. So, like you say, customer service can vary.
Which is fine, but...
Go to the quality of the cakes.
But if I, being a receptionist, and somebody came in, and I just continue to chat to that person and not acknowledge this person, what do you think my manager would say?
True. But I think I don't think my point is you can't judge the shop by one incident. I don't think. I mean, like I said, I've been many times, and guys, if you've found this as well, I've gone into a specific shop and I've had a complete change, a dichotomy from fantastic customer service one point to terrible another one. There's a very well known, I won't say the name, famous electrical shop that sells electrical goods. Well, I've had that. I've gone in, you've had really good customer service. Somebody's taken you around and Whereas another has come around and it's been difficult to get hold of it.
Okay.
Hey, Ivy, how are you?
Hey, Ivy. All right. So remember there was a shop and you paid for something and it didn't come in for ages. And they didn't even give you good customer service once you had paid for the goods or whatever.
We're well, thank you. I hope you are well. Too. Thank you, Ivy.
Thank you for asking.
We're just talking about Kelly's review. So Kelly did we went to several cake shops, didn't you, in central London?
I'm just talking about customer service at the moment because we've had this discussion before about customer service. Now, with the one that didn't give you good customer service, now you don't go to that shop.
No, but there's more to it than just that shop. So I complained to, I won't say the name of the shop, but
Yeah.
I received terrible customer service from a very well-known health food shop. Again, no names. Now, you're lucky, the shop, because I could grass you up right now. But it was so poor, the service I got, and it lasted for weeks because I'd ordered, cut long story short, I'd ordered some goods. Every time I went in there to collect it, the manager go, "No, we haven't got it. No, I haven't come in. Come next week. Come next." I can't keep coming back.
Yeah.
This went on for weeks, and eventually I wrote a complaint to head office, who just basically fobbed me off. Towards the end, I put in a stronger complaint, and eventually they went, "Oh, we're really, really, really sorry," and sent it in the post first class the next day. I thought, why couldn't you have done that weeks ago? And then they said to me, "We're really sorry. We acknowledge you've had a terrible customer service. We're going to give you a £10 voucher," which I never ever got. But I never chased it up because I just thought to myself,
Yeah.
I'm chasing up something.
Yeah. And I just feel sometimes when you don't have, because for me, that wasn't even basic customer service. And I just, because the basic customer service to me is when someone comes in the shop, you acknowledge them, "Hi, I'll be with you in a moment." That's all he had to say.
I'm sure, but mine's different because I worked head office and they were equally as incompetent. I'm sure if you complain, not that you would, their head office and said what happened, they would respond differently.
Yeah, but this is, they've only got a few. I don't think they are that big at the moment because there's only a couple branches. They're relatively new.
I mean, we sound like we complain a lot. We don't. I mean, that's the only time I ever have done. So
I don't complain, but then you've kind of lost my custom, if that makes sense, because all I require as a person, "Oh, I'll be with you in a moment." That's the only acknowledgement that I needed.
Yeah, Georgina, it's nice not to be acknowledged. Anyway, we are going on too much on the customer service. Go back onto the quality of the food.
But I did. I thought it was okay. But I wonder if the way I was treated marred.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Well, to be fair, I agree with you, and I didn't receive that customer service.
Yeah.
Because obviously you went, I didn't.
Yeah.
So I would be fair. I thought your review was very, very fair, and I agree with everything you said. So I don't think it did. I think, and to be fair, I think you were very neutral.
Yeah.
You did acknowledge a poor customer. Well, not poor, but not great. So, but you didn't let it. I don't think you let my mark was very similar to yours from memory.
I think that.
Well, it wasn't actually for the first one.
No, for the first one.
You don't like cinnamon, but I love cinnamon.
It wasn't that, but also like Georgina said, it's very dense. I'm not really into the denseness of cakes.
Now that's where Georgina and I differ, because I really like the density of it. Yeah. I prefer the density of it, but I do get what Georgina said. If you prefer like a bready thing, like a cinnabon, that makes more sense. But this one I did really enjoy. I've got to be honest, if I went back there, what was it called again? Buns from Home. Buns from Home. I would definitely order the cinnamon again. I wouldn't order the dolce de leche. That was too much. For me, that was far too rich. Yeah,
you didn't really. I preferred the dolce de leche.
Yeah, but you like dolce de leche.
Yeah.
But that was almost like, the dolce de leche stuff you've got from Carnation, where you...
Yeah.
It's almost like somebody's got it and just smeared it all over. The cinnamon for me, that was...
Yeah. I liked the dolce de leche.
Evelyn, hello.
Hey.
How are you?
Hope you're well. But the problem was the buns weren't all that for me. But I will give it another go. But I don't think I'd go to the same shop. I think I'd go to a different one.
So guys, the next one
that we did was St. John's Bakery.
Now, Kelly and I had a big debate over this, and weren't we, whether or not to put it in the video, shall we say? We didn't know whether or not one particular donut.
Oh yeah, so okay. So here's the story.
Here's a story about a donut.
So
or about three.
St. John's Bakery. St. John's is a restaurant in Farringdon, and I used to pass it in the mornings on the way to work. They specialize in offal and things like that. And their what do you call it? Their picture, their logo. Their logo is a pig. And I used to pass it every day, but it looked like from the outside you can't really tell that it's a restaurant. It just says St. John's, so I never knew it was a restaurant for a really long time until someone said to me, "Oh, it's a restaurant." I was like, "Oh, really?" It just looked like it was a where they sort of sold pork, like chops and things like that, or that maybe that is where they chop them up before they go to the shop. That's what I thought it was. Do they call it not an abattoir, but something similar to an abattoir?
Well, it's like a slaughterhouse, yeah.
Yeah. So so I never thought about it really. Anyway, recently, I discovered that they have a bakery. Now, I watched a couple of YouTubers, and they were saying that one of the donuts was a Michelin star donut. And so I thought, oh, right, okay, it's a Michelin star donut. Must try these donuts because one of them's Michelin starred. Went and got the donuts, and we were talking about, because I knew which one was the Michelin star. So we were talking about during the video, all the Michelin star, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so this morning, I think it was this morning or last night, I went online to sort of see about this Michelin star donut. Nowhere online does it say that this donut is a Michelin star. So then I had to cut all the video because obviously we'd mentioned it was Michelin star and all of these stuff. So then I had to go and cut it all where we mentioned the Michelin star donut. I had to cut all of that out the video.
So that was what we were doing. So throughout the video, obviously the bits you wouldn't have seen, we were going, oh, we're trying a Michelin star donut. This Michelin star donut. But of course, we now don't think it is. But somebody had said that
a couple of people,
St. John's actually did Michelin star donuts. And I thought, how can a donut be Michelin star? This must be one awesome donut. Now, Kelly, very cleverly, didn't tell me which one was supposed to be Michelin star. So when we tried all three, so we tried the chocolate one, the raspberry one, and the custard one. And you said to me, which one's the Michelin star? And I honestly couldn't tell. First of all, I thought, well, maybe it's a chocolate because the chocolate was so rich. I thought that's proper Belgian chocolate going in there. And I thought, well, maybe it's actually the raspberry because the raspberry, that looks like homemade raspberry jam. It was really, really quite...
It was really thick.
Thick and quite sort of semi-tart. So I think that was homemade. And then I thought, well, the custard's homemade. That's really rich as well. So I did get it right. I did guess the custard because I thought that's got the vanilla pods and stuff like that. But I say guessed it right. I don't think it was Michelin starred.
No. So when I googled it later, and the restaurant I think has a Michelin star, or it's a Michelin star chef. So yes, a Michelin star chef created the donuts, but the donuts aren't Michelin star.
He's a very famous chef whose name I forget. He's very sad because he's had Parkinson's since he was young.
Oh.
But he lives in Seven Dials.
Oh, that's the guy you were saying that lives in Seven Dials, right?
Yeah, so he lives in Seven Dials. Of course, that makes sense because the restaurant he owns is very close by.
Right.
But yeah, he's... So these donuts, I thought, well, these are going to be amazing for Michelin star. They were very good, but I've got to say, not as good as Bread Ahead. Now, Bread Ahead's still the best bread donut.
The actual donut itself.
The bread,
I'm not talking about the filling. I'm talking about the actual donut. Bread Ahead, I have to say, has probably been the best donut I've tried so far.
So for guys, that is our recommendation. If you do fancy a really good quality donut, do try Bread Ahead. There is one in Borough Market. And where's the other one?
I think there's one in Soho as well. There's going to be a couple opening up soon. So yeah, there are a few that are around, but the main one is Borough Market, and they make them fresh. You can see them making it and all of that type of stuff. And you do see rows of as it should be. Yeah.
But it's so good. It really, really is good. That is our recommendation. So the filling varies. Well, you'll see lots of reviews of Bread Ahead on YouTube from various things. We've even done it ourselves. But we must do another Bread Ahead review because this by far is our favourite donut.
Yeah.
We have tried quite a few as well, as you'll see. We've tried Crosstown. We've tried Donut Time. We have tried Bread Ahead. Donut Time are very good, which we will come on to.
Yeah.
But for me and you, slightly pipped by Bread Ahead.
Yeah. And to be honest, the donuts that I tried from St. John's,
they were good. No, they are good.
They were all right.
The filling makes them because
I've been spoiled.
Well, this is it.
I've been spoiled. So
the donut itself, if I hadn't told you it was done in a Michelin star restaurant, you never ever would have guessed. They're nice. And if somebody gave them to you, you would eat them.
You would eat it, but I
mean, the filling is better than you would have, say, in a supermarket brand or anything like that, or in a cake shop, because obviously
Belgian chocolate's very rich,
very good, but still not as good as the Bread Ahead.
Yeah.
So that's that one. But the pizzas weren't from there, were they? But the almond croissant was fantastic.
Almond croissant, again, not the best almond croissant that I've tasted,
but good.
Because the shop that I did want to go to was closed. So it was closed Monday and Tuesday. I was really upset. I was like, what? So, I feel a bit sweaty because I've just come back from So I went to Canterbury today, and literally, I got back about half. I got back just in time to start the live.
There you are. So we have got a little treat for you guys. We are going to review in a minute 3 new Starbucks drinks. Two new Starbucks drinks.
Yeah, the other one's just mine.
Oh, it's actually a normal one.
Yeah,
so we will review that in a little bit. So do stay tuned for that. But we'll finish our little review. So that was St. John's.
And then the next one that I had, so basically, if you watch the video split in 2. So the video is split with me trying the savoury things first. Mark was working, so I tried the savoury things first. And so you will see ong buns.
That's easy for you to say.
Ong buns. And I went there, and so basically there are lots of indoor food markets that are opening up around London, well, around the UK, sort of like everywhere. Well, I was on YouTube this morning and I saw somewhere else, near the seaside somewhere, and I was like, wow, they got an indoor market there as well. So just off of Seven Dials, or in Seven Dials, however you want to see it, I suppose. I would say just off Seven Dials, but there's a place called Cucumber Alley, uber trendy like type place that they've got like a little sort of, and I really wanted to do some filming, and I did do some filming, and originally I had it with the music going and you could see it all around, but it took up too much time. So because we were reviewing the food, so I had to cut all of that. So unfortunately, guys, you just got the bare bones video, not as beautiful as I wanted to make it.
But let's go on to the pièce de résistance, the best one we thought.
Oh no, let me talk about ong buns first.
Oh, I'll let you talk about.
So ong buns, I got the barbecue pork, I got the chicken curry, and I got the hot dog one. The hot dog one was the seasonal. That was they were all really good, but with the chicken curry, there wasn't enough filling in it. There was too much bread and hardly any. But although the chicken curry was good, it would have been better in a samosa.
Okay.
That chicken curry would have been so. If it had been in a samosa, that would have just. It was nice.
Would have peaked it.
Yeah, and then they had the. So I also picked up a sweet bun there, which was the coconut custard one.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, that was nice.
Yeah.
I did dry, but I think it's deliberately dry like a biscuit, so you have it with tea
or something like that. Yeah. So and so that was quite nice. That was quite surprising. Still, again, not as nice as some of the others. I would have it again, but probably I would eat it there rather than sort of like carrying it home and carrying it home and stuff. So then so that was ong buns, and then I think the last one then was we also had donut time, Pina Turner.
Yeah, which is your pina colada.
Yeah, which is my pina colada one.
We're going to go on to the pièce de résistance. So you talk about this.
Like, you're so excited about this place.
But do you know what? I'm excited about, because this is one of our recommendations for anybody that would like to try it, and we do recommend this place. So let's talk about that.
Okay, so I went to a pastry shop, which is in Floral Street, and the pastry shop is called Chestnut Bakery. And again, the level of service there, it was above and beyond kind of thing.
It's amazing how different you get it, but anyway.
Right. But the cakes themselves, so I bought so I was there sort of seeing what I was going to get, because in my mind I thought, well, I'm definitely going to get croissant. I was there actually to get a lemon meringue croissant. That's what I was there to get, a lemon meringue croissant. When I got there, they didn't have the lemon meringue croissant, but what they did have was an orange and ricotta croissant. So I thought, right, I'll get that. And then I saw this beautiful apple sort of like crumble Danish, and I just thought, oh my God, that looks amazing. And then the lady said, you should really get the strawberry and elderflower. But in my mind, I was only looking to get 2 things.
Bear in mind, we'd had so many cakes.
I'd already bought so many cakes. And then so I picked that one. And I said, you know what? All right, I'll go for the strawberry and elderflower. I also bought 2 flatbreads, 2 pizzas, because Mark rang me in the middle of all of this, and I was having a quick chat with him, and I said, do you want some pizza? They got pizza here, it's flatbread. And he said yes. So he goes, I'll let you choose. And there was a honey, there was a burrata and burnt honey thing, and I thought, oh my goodness, that just sounds amazing. I'm gonna get that one. And then there was another one, and I said, oh, do you have any meat ones? And they called it a mengela or something like that. I don't quite know what the pronunciation was. And I said, yeah, I'll have that one. But they had so many interesting things there. So there was like an aubergine parmigiana croissant that looked so good, and I just thought, I need to come back here, because when we tried those things, she also gave me a tahini, but she actually gave me that for free. I was like, oh, I wasn't sure, but she goes, do you know what? Have a cookie. Choose a cookie. It's free, because she said choose a cookie, and I was like, oh, do you know what? I've got enough stuff. She goes, it's free, and I was just like, oh, I was like, what cookie? And I said, what cookie would you recommend? She said the tahini and sesame and tahini, and it had tahini in it. And I turned to her and I goes, are you sure? She said, yeah, trust me. And so I got that, and then I just waited for the pizzas to be done. And she kept checking on it. She goes, your pizzas ain't done yet. Let me go and check on that for you, and things like that. And the pizzas came, and they were in 2 long boxes. I brought 2 bags with me, but because they were so long, they were too long for the mouth of the bag, so I couldn't put them in the bag. And she said, do you know what? Do you want me to tie it with a bit of string for you? And I said, because at the time I said, oh no, it's all right, I've got a bag. But then I tried to fit it in the bag, couldn't fit in the bag. And I said, I'm so sorry, kid. She goes, yeah, sure. She got the string.
Really good.
She tied the 2 boxes together so that I could carry it like this. And I said, you know what? I'm going home now. I'm not getting anything else. Then when I got to the station, I saw donut time, the peanut Turner cake donut, and I had to get that as well.
But
so
those were, what was it called again, the place?
Chestnut Bakery. Chestnut Bakery.
My memory's terrible. Chestnut Bakery, really good. What we would recommend, if you do buy them though, try and eat them ASAP, even though they were fresh, and I ate them 4 or 5 hours later after I'd finished work. It was still, you could just see, right, it's so much better fresh.
But that strawberry and elderflower.
Oh wow, that was amazing. But they were all good.
They were. I can't tell you one bad one.
No, and that's what I say.
I can't tell you one bad one.
Guys, Chestnut's Bakery, we do really recommend all of the cakes. We have the apple one, that strawberry one was amazing.
The orange and ricotta again was good.
It wasn't overtly orange. It wasn't, really tangy. It was just a subtle hint of orange in there. Really recommend the cakes. Really good.
I am definitely going to go there again, because there are other things I want to try. I will go to Buns from home again, but I'll go to a different one, because I want to try the buns that I saw. I don't want to have to choose buns that really I just didn't want. But I'm definitely going to go back again. I won't go to that one. It's very small. It was already crowded with 2 people standing in the shop. It was that small. I think I will go to Soho next time, and then be in the Soho area, and sort of like go to some pastry shops, because I think there might be a Chestnut Bakery in Soho, maybe. But yeah, I've got to say, there was another bakery shop that I wanted to go to, but I had so much already, I could not justify going to the other bakery shop. And it was funny, because I was going to go to the other bakery shop instead of going to Chestnut. But because I was passing Chestnut, I just thought, oh, do you know what? Let me go to the Chestnut. And I forgot that it was Chestnut Bakery. All I knew was it was at the other end of Floral Court. And I thought, oh, I'm sure I'll find it. And then I had a quick look to see what it was called. I was like, oh, yeah. And then when I got to Floral Street, I saw it, and I was like, oh. And then I walked in, and I just thought, oh, I don't know what I'm going to try. But I've got to say, all of those cakes. And the lady that helped me, her name was Julia. So if you're ever there in Chestnut Bakery, go and see Julia. She's really lovely. Customer service is on point. The guy who served me, I don't know if he was new or whatever, and that's why she was trying to get in behind the counter, because I think it's a relatively new premises. I think it seemed that way. That's what it seemed like. It was either relatively new or the staff were relatively new, one of the two. But it's so good. I can't rate it highly enough. It was really, really good.
There you go. So that was our recommendations there. Chestnuts, well done.
Right.
Now,
I've got to look up and see what these are called before we go on.
So for those of you who may have just joined us, Kelly did buy 2 of the new drinks from Starbucks.
Okay, so one is so there's 2 new drinks at what you call it, Starbucks.
Yeah.
One is the passion fruit raspberry cream. They're layered.
I'm just gonna get some water and glasses because we should.
Oh yes, yeah. And the other one is banana split coffee frappuccino. So those are the 2 new drinks from. Hey Richard, how are you? I hope you're well. I hope everyone's well actually. But yeah, so we went to Starbucks. There's 2 new drinks at Starbucks. One is the passion, and they were layered, but of course they came. They were delivered, so they got shaken up a bit, so they're not as pretty as they should be. I will try and get the picture up so you can see what they are supposed to look like. Let me get that. And I will show you what they're supposed to look like. Let's see. Because obviously Starbucks are always coming out with these new drinks, but this, let me see. Okay, so that's what they're supposed to look like. So they're supposed to look layered like that. So
I was slightly different.
They look slightly different. So one is the passion fruit raspberry, and the other one is banana split. And that's
hello, Richard. Hello.
Yeah, Richard's on.
All right.
So that's what they're supposed to look like. However,
so I just we got a couple of glasses of water right here. So
this is what arrived. So they don't. There's one layer at the bottom. The cream is disappeared, but I don't know if you can see the top. There's a little bit of sprinkles on that. This I take it this is the raspberry and passion fruit, and this one is the banana split.
Oh, Richard said I found a new coffee I like, Stumptowns. Bought a manual coffee. My brother actually has bought me loads of coffee from the United States because he lives in Washington. He comes on here sometimes.
Yeah.
And I do wonder. I'm sure that name rings a bell. I do wonder if he sent that to me before. I never really take a note of the coffee. I drink them, and some are really nice.
Yeah,
but I'm really into flavored coffee, Richard.
Yeah.
So I love it. So my brother sent me some tiramisu flavored coffee. It was delicious, but I forget the name of the company. But there's some really nice flavored coffees. I've had pumpkin spice from the States as well, and that's really good. So here we go. Right, cleansing palate.
Okay. So I'm going to try the worst one, what I might consider the worst one, which is this is the banana split.
Yeah, Stumptowns is from Washington State. I do think he is in Washington, so I do wonder. Oh, that's Washington State. No, Ben's in Washington DC. Washington State is in the West Coast, isn't it? Northwest Coast.
I never knew this, right? So I was chatting to somebody at Disney one time. Mark went off to do something, and I was just sitting on a bench, and I just got chatting to this family. And I was saying, oh, yeah, like your brother was in Washington. And the little boy said to his dad, oh, Washington, wherever it was. And the father said, no, Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
So he automatically, I wonder what it was, what I said.
Yeah, Northwest,
that he automatically knew I meant Washington, D.C. And I never even heard of the other one till the son had asked his father.
Yeah. So there's Washington State, which, as Richard said, is Northwest, and there's Washington, D.C., District of Columbia.
Columbia, yeah.
Which is on the other side, on the East Coast.
Which is, I always knew it meant what D.C. meant, but
East
I
side.
just thought there was one Washington.
Well,
I didn't realise.
I'm assuming both named after George Washington. Right.
So this is the banana split one, and we are about to try this. Okay. And I don't like bananas, remember?
No, this is interesting. So it does look the layer. I wonder if it's a layer of that. You enjoy.
Very strong banana.
Oh, wow. Hang on. Oh.
That is not going to sit well with me.
So that layer at the bottom is just pure banana syrup.
Yeah.
If you go up a little bit, so if I pull the straw, get the middle bit, That's just coffee. I think to enjoy this properly, you'd have to mix the two.
Yeah.
If you've had a mouthful of that, that's just like having. The only way I could describe it is somebody's mashed
bananas, yeah.
Mashed a load of bananas, then added sugar to it. It's very, very sweet.
It just tastes like mashed bananas to me.
That's more my thing. I'm going to give
mix
that.
It.
Yeah, do a little mix. You're not going to drink this.
No, of course not.
I'm going to give that a 7 out of 10. I wouldn't necessarily order it, but it's nice.
It's a lot more palatable now that I've mixed it. But
Richard said, how much are these?
£4, £4.50, I think.
Oh my god, £5.
All the coffees are £5. What are you talking about? Everything is £5.
I quite like that actually.
Now that it's mixed, yeah.
It's much better mixed. So, little tip from us: do give it a mix when you get it.
£4.80, and that was for a small. That's small. £4.
So, Richard, I'm guessing that's about $7.
But also, everything's gone up.
Yeah. So it's a lot for what it is, because also as well that is a small. All right.
Okay,
oh
so
my God.
This one is
look at the syrup in that.
This one is the passion fruit, raspberry and passion fruit. So you can see the third layer got mixed in because obviously it came delivered. So I'm going to try it. Wow, that's very strong.
Yeah, because you've gone right for. So Kelly again's gone right for the syrup at the bottom.
I'll mix it after.
So Richard said, yeah, not bad price for a coffee. To be honest, in these days, for a Starbucks, that isn't too bad.
So that's quite powerful.
Wow. Yeah.
Now try it mixed.
Yeah, I'm going to mix it. I do think you need to mix it.
Let me do it.
Because if you get that syrup, wow.
Yeah, that syrup is strong.
It's like, the only way I can describe it is getting a spoon, dipping it in syrup and taking that neat. That is very, very sweet. I'm going to have a sugar. I'm on a sugar high at the moment.
Oh, please. He said he couldn't eat all those cakes, and most of those cakes are gone.
Oh, Richard, now I've got to say...
That's a lot better.
I've got to say, I do love American coffee. I watch YouTube, American YouTubers that have come to United Kingdom. And
I like that one.
Can I finish?
Yeah.
Sorry. And they do say they cannot get a decent coffee in the United Kingdom. I do think that's a little harsh, but I would say, I love the Starbucks bus, says Richard. I would say the coffee in America is much better than the UK. That's from my thing.
I don't drink coffee, so I can't comment on that.
No, that's fair enough. Yeah, that's much better.
Which one do you prefer?
That.
Do you?
Yeah.
Over the banana?
Yeah.
Wow.
The banana's
I do like
nice.
this.
But chocolate and banana is a very rich, heavy combo.
Oh, yeah.
No, that's going to go.
If someone gave me this at a party, I would not be mad.
No. That's really, really good.
I would not be mad.
Would you be mad if they gave you the other one?
But anything banana, I'd be mad. Anything banana, I'd be so
I'm
mad.
shocked you ordered it because it's banana. Now this is interesting. Richard said UK has great coffee too. They just don't know where to buy it there.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Now, funny you should say that actually, because I do think there are decent coffee shops in England. When we went to Brighton, there are actually lots and lots of independent ones as well. Some very, very nice ones.
Gourmet ones.
I do agree with you where to buy them. You can get some decent places to do that. Geets has joined us. Hello.
Hi, I hope you're well. Are we pronouncing your name correct?
Is that Geets? Yeah,
Geets.
He said Starbucks is good. And I do agree, actually. As you know, we are big Starbucks fans. So if we do Starbucks, whenever we do a live, he said.
Yes, good.
Sorry, and is it he or she? I do.
He or she, yeah.
I
sorry.
beg your pardon. That's my.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we do like Starbucks as well. Although my little penchant is to have. So this is chai latte I'm having at the moment. Thank you, Keith.
Thank you.
So what was I going to say? So we do. My favorite is to have if I do have coffee, is to have oat milk latte. That's my favorite, and my favorite one I've got to say is from Pret. Is slightly better than Starbucks, but I do like Starbucks coffee.
Right.
I'm a big fan of it. So Geeks is right. I do prefer the sort of. I do like the Starbucks coffee.
I like the Starbucks Frappuccino. Chai latte is the best. It really is.
Do you know what? And for years and years, if you if you're ever bored and watch one of our old lives from years ago, I would always have a coffee. And it'd always be a latte, but I've really got into the chai lattes now. I really do enjoy them.
Well, I just said to Mark, I said, because I started ordering chais, and I said to Mark, well, we've got an espresso, and you have coffee all the time, so it makes sense if we're going to order a drink. Don't get a coffee because you drink coffee all day, and we've got an espresso, so you might as well get something that you wouldn't make at home. And that's always my philosophy. I feel like if you can make it at home, unless it's a bacon toasted sandwich or steak. Those are the two things I will forgive, right? But everything else, if you don't make it at home, or if you can't make it at home, there's no. If you do make it at home, there's no.
Can you grab me in both of them, please? So, if you can't make it at home, you do it yourself.
Yeah, if you can make it at home, there's no point in going out and having it. So if you can't make it at home, that's when you have whatever it is. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, so the two drinks again. Can you remind us what they are?
Raspberry and passion fruit is this one,
and this one,
banana split.
So, what would you give out of 10? This one, the passion fruit?
I'd give it an 8.
I agree. I would actually, for the thing, it's really, really nice. Is expensive. So, like I said, what, £4.80 for both of them?
£4.80.
So £4.80. You're looking nearly £5, and these are small. These are not large. So that's the price, but it's pretty much the standard price as you say for a frappuccino.
And also, I think if you wanted to get a large, it would only be 50p extra.
Yeah, that's true. And for this one, what's this one? Remind us what this is.
It's a banana split.
And what would you give that a 10?
After mixing it, it is more palatable. I would give it a 5. It's more palatable after you mix. It's a bit unfair because I don't like banana, and when I took a sip of that thing, I got a whole thing of mashed. It tasted like mashed banana.
Yeah, it does. It does.
It was really like, and I could feel. I thought, I wonder if that's going to repeat on me later. So strong.
Just be wary as well. It comes in the 3 separate layers. If you do get obviously your straw balances at the bottom of the cup. So if you do just do a straight sip, you are getting one big hit of that syrup. I agree.
I'm drinking my own.
So for me, I agree. I know I did give that a 7. I'm going to drop it a little bit because it is a bit rich. Small for me, I would even, if they did a smaller one than that, I would have that. That's very, very rich. This I could drink.
They used to do really mini ones, but they don't do the mini ones anymore.
No, it's a waste of plastic, really. There we are. So that's our little review. Our recommendation would be the passion fruit one. This one, depending on how rich you want it, if you want something a really rich,
if you like banana,
well, banana and chocolate combo, which is nice, go for this. Otherwise,
this was the coffee blend because they also do a cream blend without coffee.
Wow, that is really strong.
But this is with coffee. I've got the coffee blend.
I'm not sure this is mixing well in my stomach, I must be honest. But we like to sacrifice for our sugar hit just for...
Mark says all of this and he goes, and you'll be drinking it, and I'll be like,
When this live is over, I'll be watching TV drinking this.
Yeah, he will be.
All right, let me get some water because I just had a load of sugar. Do you want some more? Are you all right?
No, I'm fine, thank you.
There we are. So that's our little review. We've done our cake review, and now we've just done our Starbucks review. We were going to do it as a video, but we just thought, well, actually, there's only 2 drinks.
Yeah, so and we're here.
It makes sense to do it on the live.
So today I went to Canterbury. Right?
Richard said, "You buzzed yet?" I am. I'm ready to go. So if I go, this live is going to go on for about 5 hours. Go, yeah, it's 4 a.m. Who's still on us? You're still on us. Good.
So today I went to Canterbury because I wanted to do some filming. And I invited my mum and my aunt. And the thing is, whenever I go anywhere with my mum or my aunt or something like that, they bring sandwiches with them on the train, right?
I don't know why I find that funny, but that's funny.
Now the journey. Well, we missed our connection, but anyway, the journey is not that long. It's not mega long. But they were eating sandwiches on the train and all of this. And then we got there and we weren't even there 20 minutes before someone was saying, oh, yeah, are we going for fish and chips? I was like, but you just eating, like, I don't eat in the mornings normally. Unless I'm hungry, then I might have a toast or I might say to you, oh, can you make me a bacon toasted sandwich? And then Mark,
I've got to work, so I'm there making the toasted bacon sandwich. Well,
Mark will make me a bacon toasted sandwich or whatever.
At 7 a.m.
But hey Neha.
Neha, how are you?
Neha.
That's what I said. Neha,
sorry.
how are you?
And hope you're well, by the way. And so but normally, more often than not, I don't eat in the morning. So they're like getting out like sandwiches and drinks and crisps and all of this type of stuff, right? And they're munching. I thought, oh, do you know what? That's good. That'll do them for a couple of hours. That means when we get down there, you know, we'll have a couple of hours to sort of like film and all of this type of stuff.
On holiday. Where are you going? You did tell us this.
Is she going Disney?
Are you doing Disney?
Are you going Disney? Are you doing Disney? Are you going?
You didn't tell us you were going to Disney already. Or if she is though, where are you going? Where are you going next? Anyway, go on, Canterbury.
Yeah. So so anyway, got down there, like I said, not even there 20 minutes, and they're talking about fish and chips. I was like, what? We're not even by the seaside, and you want fish and chips? I was like, all right then. So there was a place that I saw. No, it's not Disney. That's next year. Yeah, I really want to go Disney. They've just brought out some new headbands. I'm going to take a look at them later. I might purchase some. And no, well, I literally came in and set up for the live. Came in, set up for the live. And so so we were looking for a good fish and chip place, and I did find one, but you needed to drive there really, so we didn't go to that one, but we did pass one. And it was a really nice place. I'm just going to have a look.
While you're doing that, so Neha's going to Fuerteventura. So her parents booked a last minute holiday. You will love it. We've not been to Fuerteventura, but we've been to the Canary Islands, well, Lanzarote, many times. It's going to be very hot there. I hope you have a really, really nice time on the 23rd of July. Well, we hope you have a fantastic time.
Lovely time.
Just relax, enjoy. All your exams will be over then. You can just really sit down and have a nice rest. There's loads of little shops you can go to, or the restaurants there as well. That would be fantastic. And what makes it even better is it's a surprise. It's all inclusive too. Oh my God.
Oh wow.
That would be so I get everything. Do you know, the problem is we did all inclusive one. I can help yourself. She said we did all inclusive, I was just eating non-stop because there's breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So I thought, well, I'll have breakfast. And 3 hours later, I just seen, well, I'm not hungry, but it'd be rude for me not to go over and have some lunch.
We did that in Vegas.
That's what I'm saying.
And listen, let me tell you something. Once we had breakfast, we had the lunch. I could not do the dinner. I couldn't. I went there and I was just like, I can't even eat.
Utter gluttony. So when we went to Vegas, it was they did a special deal for all inclusive, and that was at the Excalibur. It was the Excalibur and the Luxor. So you could go to either buffet. They gave you this little wristband, and the wristband lasted 24 hours. So me being me, I thought I've got 24 hours to eat as much food as I can. So we had lunch. We had a massive breakfast, and I eat a lot. So I had a massive breakfast. I said, let's go for lunch. You went, oh no. I said, oh, come on, we got the bands. Kelly, did we go to... didn't you go to Fuerteventura?
No. You went on a day trip with my mum to Fuerteventura. So even my mum did a day trip to Fuerteventura. You went to see the sand dunes, but I didn't go with you. No. And the thing is, when it's hot, I don't have much of an appetite. I'm not like So I'll have breakfast. Might have an evening meal or something like that. I can't imagine
Neha would have a big appetite. The boy who I don't like at all called me Leng at school today, but I know he was joking.
Oh,
what does Leng mean? I'm not down with kids.
I'm not down with that vernacular, but I can only imagine it's a derogatory word because you got peng. You got peng, which is
good, but I thought
which is like he's peng or she's peng.
I thought hench was bad.
No, hench is when you're tonk, when you're hench. Oh my God, he's hench. He's fit, or she's fit. But you wouldn't say it for a girl. I think it's more. Hench is more for a boy. But I don't like call. Is that supposed to be peng? And you've put Leng?
No, Leng is. I've heard of Leng before.
I've not heard of Leng, but I'm thinking because the L and the P are together, she might have meant peng.
No,
not Leng.
Well, no,
because peng would be good.
Good, yeah. Or maybe you.
Yeah. So are you saying peng, not Leng? because I was thinking, I haven't heard of Leng before. Is that a new vernacular? I forgot what we were talking about now. You were talking about all you can eat buffets. But yeah, whenever it's hot, I don't have much of an appetite.
No, I can't imagine the whole would eat much anyway. Even if you can have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I cannot imagine you would want to. Yeah, especially in the heat, you wouldn't want to.
Yeah.
I can, of course, eat as much as I like in the heat, as you know. But yeah, I would. I was going to say, I did it once. My stomach, by the time we got to dinner, now I did dinner on my own because you didn't want it. And I've got to be honest, I didn't really want it. I was just doing it because I paid for it.
Yeah.
And I was going around, and I got a plate, and it was the most pitiful thing I put on, about 5 items. And even then I was like, oh.
But also, it wasn't even that good. That buffet, the Luxor buffet, wasn't even that good. It wasn't as good as the
So Nahar said, yeah, and he kept doing this hand thing. I was doing my English speech in front of the class, and the thing he was doing with his hands meant big bum, and I don't even have a big bum. No, I meant Leng, and Peng means the same. Or Leng and Peng mean the same.
Oh, right, okay.
So he means you're nice.
Oh, okay. She's
Well,
Peng.
Yeah, so he thinks you're
right,
Peng.
Peng and Leng. Okay, they mean the same thing.
Listen, he wouldn't have said that and joked about it. You don't say something and just in case. He said he was joking just in case you didn't reciprocate it. That's why he said it. He probably really likes you.
Yeah.
But actual fact, he said, I'm only joking just in case you turn around and you
say, what?
Yeah, what? I'm not interested. Then he'll go, well, I was only joking anyway.
Yeah.
He's not.
He's not.
He's chancing it to hope you go, oh, do you? I think you're Leng too. She said no.
No. LOL.
You don't like him?
No, she doesn't like him.
Oh, you don't like him? No,
she
no,
doesn't like him. But why don't you like him? What is there not to like about him?
Is the question. Well, you just don't. You don't like everybody.
No, I'm just asking. Like, what you don't, a boy that I don't even like, right? So when you say a boy I don't even like, you're normally talking about.
It's in Spanish. All the boys have this thing where they say my name and they start making moaning noises. Okay. Oh no! Do you know what? It's not one
I'm thinking. I don't like him because he leaps over the table in maths and butts.
Oh dear!
Do you know what? He's just showing off, and it's just a typical masculine boy thing. And he probably does like you, to be quite honest.
And what that shows, Nahar, is he's got absolutely. What he thinks is he thinks you'll find him funny. That's why he's doing it. So he's doing it because he thinks you'll think he's funny and laugh and do it that way. What it is, because he's young, he has absolutely no idea how to engage with girls. He's got no idea. So he's completely clueless. So if he did annoy you, you could just tell him, look, you haven't a clue.
She wouldn't say that. But,
no.
You know, him leaping over tables and things like that, it's just one of them boy things that he's just showing off. Oh, I can leap over a table. And the fart is for the boys. The farting is for the boys because the boys all think it's funny, not for the girls.
Richard, I was going to ask you about this. Richard said, talking about being able to eat a lot at one time, Joey Chestnut ate 63 hot dogs over the 4th of July. Who's Joey Chestnut? Oh, Coney Island competition.
Oh, right.
Right, funny enough. Right, now, if you ever... Richard,
that's New York, isn't it? Coney Island, yeah.
So, Richard, if you're ever interested, there's a British guy that enters competitions, all you eat competitions, and his channel is called Beard Meets Food. The reason he's called Beard Meets Food is because he's got a massive beard. But he's gone over to America and won loads of competitions, and he's devised a way that he can eat lots and lots and lots of food. I just find it fascinating how much this guy can put away. But yeah, did you have a good 4th of July? What did you do and how did you celebrate?
Yeah.
Nahar said, and once he leapt over me in maths because I sit next to him, sadly, and all his biscuits out of his pocket fell into my book. And once he was eating chocolate and he was speaking to a friend and he spat it out in my book. Oh, like little bits. Also, my brother speaks to him and they be stupid together. My brother is like 2 years younger, and then he told him to annoy. I think he's talking to your brother so he can engage with you. That's why he's doing it, because he knows he's your brother. So he thinks, well, if I talk to that, I can speak to Nahar, and then hopefully, I'll flatter her by gobbing in her book.
Trust me, it sounds to me like he likes you.
Yes.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Oh, Richard said cook Philly cheesesteaks and watch The Walking Dead final series on AMC. Do you know what, Richard? I'm going back to watching The Walking Dead. I'm going to go back to series 1. Once my course is finally over, that is my mission.
I would like to try a good Philly cheesesteak. I really would. Do you know what? I meant to try a good Philly cheesesteak the last time that I was there, but I didn't find. I think I did have a Philly cheesesteak, but it wasn't. I tried and I thought, well, this ain't anything to talk about, but obviously, right home about. But obviously, you need to go to the right place to have a good Philly cheesesteak. And I was just watching the Goldbergs the other day, and they were talking about.
I was watching. I was just about to say
they were talking about the best Philly cheesesteak, and it's one I think is in New Jersey somewhere. Gets his dad to try them to New Jersey.
So I was going to say, Richard said, I'm an excellent cook. Mine are the best.
Ooh.
Right, please. Now, are you willing? And I don't want to put you under pressure. You don't have to if it's a secret recipe, but would you be prepared to reveal your recipe for Philly cheesesteak on this channel? You don't have to. There's
you
no
can
pressure.
Send me an email if you don't mind passing it on to me. The email's on the about page of our YouTube channel. So as you scroll down, you'll see it near the bottom somewhere. And if you want to send me the recipe, then I can always try it and see.
Or is it a case of you could tell us, but you'd have to kill us? So in
that case, don't tell us.
Yeah, you don't have to tell us. But no pressure on you if you want to reveal your secret. Yeah, but I did see that thing on the Goldbergs when they were searching for
the best Philly cheesesteak.
And they were saying it doesn't even come from Philly. They went, "How dare you!" Now, going back to your predicament, he is friends with your brother for that reason. He wants to get to know you. It's quite rare that you get people hang around from different age groups. So, well, not in the same year as you. So I think what he's done is he's decided, he's thinking, I'll get to her by being friends with the brother. And then there's that connection there.
Because why on earth would he talk to your brother? Your brother's 2 years younger.
Yeah, exactly. So it's quite rare.
There's no reason.
Oh, I can put it in the comments over the weekend, but no pressure, Richard. I don't want you to.
Pressure.
Don't feel you have to. I don't want you to feel. I bet you're sitting there thinking, "Oh, great! Now I've gone and done it. Now I've got to tell." You don't have to. But I would just like to say we would love to, because Kelly would like to try that. Although I don't eat meat.
You wouldn't eat it.
You would.
I would try it.
We'd try it, but like I said, I'm sure it won't be a patch on yours.
I'm fussy about cheese, so we may not have the same cheese here as they do there. Depends on what type of cheese.
And I am interested to see what cheese Richard uses, because one thing I do like about the UK is you do get good cheese in the UK, especially cheddar. So I just wonder what type of cheese that you would use for your ones as well. You get some very good English cheeses as well. If I would love to send you some British cheeses for you to try. Just sadly, 2 things: one, it wouldn't last, and 2, I know your customs are very particular about dairy coming through. So that would just be the little thing. But it would be really good if we could try, because I think you would really like British cheeses.
Yeah, we send your brother. Well, actually, I haven't sent. No, but I haven't sent. No, I was about to say salad cream.
Oh yeah.
But we haven't. No, I don't. I know. I'm just talking about things from the UK that we would send, but we haven't sent your brother any salad cream for ages. We should send some. Yeah. So
how did you go on salad cream?
Salad cream, yeah.
Oh, lol, my internet went. Did you get my? Did you hear what we said? I don't know if you want me to repeat that bit, but yeah, just basically the heart. I think that's what he's doing. That's the reason why, and he doesn't know how to talk to you properly. So the way he does it, he's trying to win you over with humor.
Yeah.
Richard said, you two don't pressure anyone. You're also too polite. Anything for you two. You're awesome.
Oh, thank you, Richard. That's so kind.
If there's any recipe, not that we're brilliant cooks, but we would be more than happy to do that as well. But or if there's anything English that you would interested, you'd like us to try. I don't know if you've ever tried British Christmas fare, which is very British. So things like mince pies, Christmas pudding. These are things that my brother was saying in Washington, very difficult to get.
I was watching David Harbour, who plays Hopper in Stranger Things, and I was watching a little interview with him, and he was saying once a year
mince pies, yuck.
Yeah, so once a year we have Thanksgiving, and we do it once a year. We talk about it for months. We talk about it for months. We do it, and then we eat, and then we talk about it for months afterwards. He goes, but you British people have it every single Sunday. And when we went to, but I think you have something, you call them popovers, which is our version of Yorkshire puddings. But Mark found a recipe. He does the Yorkshire puddings and stuff like that. But yeah, we don't do it every Sunday because Mark doesn't really eat meat.
No.
And it takes so long to prepare a Sunday dinner.
I've got to say that I know Kelly and I do it in the winter. Kelly loves doing it.
I love it.
It gets on my nerves after a while. It's about 4 hours work, and I thought, this is just not worth the effort.
Yeah, but he likes all the leftovers.
Yeah, but it's not worth the 4 hours. I mean,
he doesn't mind when I cook though, and try to leave leftovers, but then he eats
my time's precious. I'm not spending 4 hours to do that. So Nahar said, he says at least she has a better trim haircut than yours. She referring to me. Yeah, he's trying. That's what he's trying to do. He doesn't know, Nahar. He really, really, really doesn't know how to win your affection. That's what it is. So
yeah.
He's trying desperately to try and get you to like him or show that he likes you. So he's trying humor, his version of humor. But because he doesn't really understand you.
He thinks he's funny.
Yeah, he thinks he's funny. He doesn't understand you. He's actually probably putting you off. Oh, right. Oh, we're going there, are we? So we're changing the subject. Nahar wants to talk about Stranger Things. People think David Harbour is hot, but I don't see it. Which one's David Harbour?
He plays Hopper, the police officer.
Oh, Hopper.
But the thing is, I think
he's a different age group to you.
Yeah, and I think because he's worked out, I think a lot of people. He's married to Lily Allen.
Yeah,
that's crazy. I never knew he would be married to Lily Allen.
Oh, that's funny. So Nahar said, I see Jonathan is really hot, but I don't see it.
I don't know which one
Jonathan is not Mike's brother, Nancy's brother.
Is he the one that played in Ghostbusters? Is that the one? Is that Jonathan?
And they say Stancy over Jancy. No. John, come on, Cal.
You said it's Nancy's brother. Nancy's brother is the one who played in Ghostbusters. That's Nancy's brother.
No, it's her boyfriend. Sorry, Nancy's boyfriend. Sorry, Will's brother. Yeah, Will's brother.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, Will's brother. That's it.
Okay. So the one she's going out with now.
Nancy's brother is mine. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Mike.
Yeah.
Mike. Yeah, that's right. No, not mine. Mike. Yeah, that's right. So, do you like? Did you prefer Jonathan or do you prefer Steve? Because Steve's the one that
that works in the ice cream parlor.
Yeah,
with all the hair.
That's right. He's got all the big hair and. I used to have my hair like that when I was younger.
I don't like either of them, and even if I was young, because normally I can see, oh yeah, if I was younger, I would like him. But I've got to say, I don't see any of them as attractive.
Robin is so pretty. Robin is now. Do you know who Robin is?
Yeah, I was about to say, do you know who Robin is?
I'm going to let Nahar guess. Her mum is, or her parents are very famous.
Both of the parents are very famous.
But
maybe Nahar might not have seen any of the films.
I think she would have. She'll know who she is, but she has a very famous mum. I'll see if she knows who it is. But it's a very, very famous actress is her mum.
Yeah, but she wouldn't have seen that film. I know the film you're talking about. In the yellow suit.
No, she may have not done that one, but she's done more than one film.
I know she's done more than one
film. Let's see if she knows. So David, Maya Hawke. No.
Yeah, that's her real name, Maya Hawke.
Maya Hawke. Yeah. Do you know who her mother is? Do you know who
her mum and dad is?
Yeah, we'll see who. That's it.
I think they're divorced now, actually.
Yeah, I think they are. So, sorry. Richard, we've just digressed there from our food. Is there any British food then, Richard, that you would like to try to make if you could?
But that's Maya. Right, okay.
Maya.
No, you don't, LOL.
I will tell you. I don't go for looks, I go for money.
The dream.
I've looked at it, but I don't get it. Now, her mum is Uma Thurman. Uma Thurman, very famous actress. She was in Pulp Fiction. She was in Kill Bill. A lot of Quentin Tarantino films. She's more famous now. She's on a lot of Sky adverts at the moment. So there's a Sky advert where she does the introduction, and then Jack Whitehall drives somebody with a load of coffees in the background. It's a bit of a weird.
Yeah.
She goes, Jack will drive you, and then drives them off. That's Uma Thurman. Her father's a guy called Ethan Hawke. Who's also a famous actor.
Yeah. They met on a film called Gattaca.
Oh God,
that's how they met. Ethan Hawke, the last film that I saw him in, he played a vampire, actually.
You could, if you look at her face, you can. She doesn't look very much. You can just about now. You'll look at her face. You'll just see
Uma Thurman
in there. She's got a very smart. But yeah, that's who her mum is.
Yeah.
So that's why she's gone into acting. I tried to watch Stranger Things. I couldn't get into it. It's a shame, Rich, because we really, really like it.
It does bring us back to the 80s. I think.
It does. And I think, but it's not for everybody. I know what you're saying. I mean, I loved Breaking Bad. That was one of my favourite series. Kelly just couldn't get into it. She just didn't like it at all.
I watched up to series 2.
But for me, I couldn't. I was hooked on it. Oh yeah, my God! They look so alike. They do. Yeah. Can you see it now?
Yeah,
they do look alike. But that's her daughter.
80s theme was cool. Yeah. It really. Yeah. I think that the theme was good, but also the way that they did. It goes. And when you see it,
it reminded me of The Equalizer.
Yeah, but also when it comes up, it flickers. You have like a lot of background because of the film. So the type of film that they used back in the day, like when the cinema used to come up, you used to get all these black spots and black lines and all of that. And the way that they've done that is exactly the same. And I just think that's really good.
Richard said, have you tried Better Call Saul? No, do you know what? The thing is, because I've been doing this course for 18 months, I'm coming to the end of it now. But my plan is to be, that's what I've just missed out on so many series, but that's one on my to-do list. Would you recommend it, Richard? Is it worth watching? I do want to watch that. I did watch, and I've forgotten the name of it, but they did a movie for Breaking Bad. And I don't want to spoil the ending of it, Breaking Bad, for those people who haven't seen it. But something happens at the end of Breaking Bad, and basically the movie takes off from where it left off, the very last episode, and takes off from there. So it follows Jesse, the character. Oh, it's awesome. Thank you. The actor's brilliant. I've forgotten the guy's name, but El Camino, that's it. That is it, El Camino. I really enjoyed that because it follows Jesse, but it brings about a lot of the characters as well. And it really does tie up the movie. Because I dedicated myself to watching Breaking Bad when it was on. I watched it back to... I was watching 4 or 5, and I was going to bed at 1 a.m.
Yeah.
I was watching...
And really wasn't for me. I tried. I really did try. And it was the second time that I tried, but I didn't really like it.
Oh, Neha's got to do the washing. Okay, goodbye, Neha.
Bye.
Take care.
Hopefully see you next
time.
Yeah. So going back to Canterbury, the fish and chips that we had was from City Fish Bar, established in 1986.
It looks a lot older.
Yeah, it's award winning. And yeah, it was pretty good. I thought it was all right. It's not the best. My mum and my aunt really liked it. They preferred it to the other fish and chips that we had in Brighton, which is true. It was better. It was better fish and chips than the one that we had in Brighton, but it's not the best fish and chips that I've tasted.
So, would you attempt doing fish and chips just out of interest? Because I know I'm not sure if you're into. You may not even like fish, but I have attempted fish and chips several times using various recipes, and it's never worked out well for me. I've always either had the oil on too hot, even though I've checked the temperature. So what ends up happening is the batter cooks so quickly. Then I've got this cold fish in the middle. So I've even tried it on a lower heat. But if you don't do it, you've got to have it.
You've got to have it at a specific temperature. You're meant to put your a wooden spoon in it, and if the bubbles are created. Oh, sorry, I'm talking about, if you're frying in a wok, but you're talking about, are you frying in the fryer?
Yeah.
The deep fat fryer.
Right. Richard said, I learned to cook them at home. All right, fish and chips.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, exactly.
Temp is critical, yeah.
And that's why I kept messing it up. So I just go to, we've got several good fish and chip shops near us. So we end up just ordering them in if we get them.
But there's a place in Brighton that I really want to try, which is English's.
Yes, we did say that. So we were advised, if anybody does go to Brighton, English's is supposed to be one of the best fish and chip shops there to try. That was the recommendation from one of the hotel we stayed at, one of the couriers there.
Yeah. But there was a restaurant that we went to called Home, and I really enjoyed my meal in Home. I thought it was really good.
Oh, yeah, that was really good.
That was really nice.
So another recommendation from us, if you're going to Brighton, do check out Home. which is near the seafront. Not home, not in Hove, but in batter for the cod, flour, salt, spring water, and paprika.
Yeah, and spring. Oh, do you know what? When you said spring water, I was thinking sparkling water.
Yeah, that's what he means.
Oh, right. Is that what you mean, sparkling water? Because I was going to say, because a lot of people put beer, right? Because that's what that creates the bubbles. But it is a good idea to use sparkling water.
I would prefer sparkling water. So in the UK, you do get a lot of people that do beer battered chips.
Beer battered fish.
Beer battered fish, even. Yeah, sparkling. It is sparkling.
Sparkling.
Yeah. So what we in the UK would call sparkling. Yeah. So they use beer battered fish. So the idea is that you're using obviously the beer and that's what gives the bubbles, give it the air in there. Heston Blumenthal did a really interesting recipe, and he used a jet propulsion thing. So of course he made his batter, and because of the jet propulsion, what it does, obviously these things are expensive. Him being him. And he sprayed it onto the fish, and what that does is obviously it creates even more air in the batter. And he did it like a tempura.
All right.
So the idea is you coat it in the batter. So in England normally you dip it in the batter, then you dip it in the hot fat.
Yeah.
And then that bubbles. But he said if you do it like tempura, so you just keep pouring on the batter, so you then get this really, really crispy, thick batter. And he said that was his secret to do it. But I do like the idea that you've got salt and paprika.
Yeah. I do fried chicken, but I used the recipe that went on the internet. Apparently the secret recipe for KFC, but it was really good. You used it on fish, but it didn't go on fish. I didn't.
No, it didn't work on the fish.
Yeah, I just thought this don't taste right. This should be on chicken. No, this don't taste right. It should be on chicken. But yeah, I haven't done fried chicken in ages. I should really try.
So what is, guys, what if you have a special signature dish, what would yours be? So if somebody was to come over, or somebody say, "Oh, cook me something special," and you wanted to impress somebody, what dish would you cook? Now I know that would sometimes depend on the person if they've got allergies or dislike certain foods. But if somebody was coming over that you knew would eat anything, what particular thing would you cook? What would yours be? Without rubbing your eyes?
I don't know, to be quite honest.
Oh, come on, you must have a signature dish. Somebody said impress me.
Do you know what? It's not a signature dish per se. I would do a snack, and mine would be aubergines. It would be the gâteau brésil.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what I would do to impress someone.
So gâteau brésil is basically slices of aubergine or eggplant, and you dip that into batter.
A special batter,
batter with chickpea flour, and I think you've got. It's quite spicy, isn't it? You put.
I make it a little bit spicy, but that is not the way it's supposed to be.
And then you dip that in the batter, and then you put that in the hot oil.
Yeah, and you fry it. But it has to be. But when you slice the eggplant or you slice the aubergine, it has to be a certain thickness. It can't be too thick, otherwise it's not going to cook all the way through, and then it will be hard when you bite into so it has to be a certain thickness.
Now, I'm not a great cook, so I don't really have a signature dish. I would do something very, very simple like nachos.
You wouldn't do your kedgeree?
No, I wouldn't actually. It's not that great. I think it's okay, but I think my nachos are better. Although I did serve that up at a barbecue. Nobody gets it.
Yeah, I think the kedgeree is better. Me personally.
But yeah, I prefer the nachos bit.
Yeah, you prefer the nachos.
Do you know
I think everybody else prefers the kedgeree.
My kedgeree I've not made for ages. I've actually forgotten how I make it now. It's been such a long time. I'd have to ad-lib it a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I've really forgotten how I make it.
Yeah, because you haven't made it.
I made it for yonks. And I'm not very good at cooking rice. I always overboil rice.
Yeah, but you could let me do the rice.
Yeah.
And then you do your thing after.
But yeah, so I cheat a little bit with my kedgeree, and I use tin mackerel rather than fresh mackerel. But I would probably bake a mackerel as well with it, because you get the juices to go through, which is what you're supposed to do with it. But the reason why I use tin mackerel, pure one for ease, and two, actually it has a very, very, very fishy flavour. Very strong.
It's got, what's the one that used with the tomatoes?
Because it's got basically the tomato sauce in there. So I do the tins with the tomato sauce in it, and that's really flavoured the tomato sauce. And of course, what it does is it adds the flavour to the
rice. Yeah.
But most people seem to like it.
Yeah. A lot of people love it. Yeah, they really like that rice. But next time I can cook the rice.
Yeah.
And then you just add whatever bits it is that you wanna.
Deal. Yeah, there we are. So that would be if I was doing a signature, but I'm very curious to see what people would do for their signature dishes as well.
Yeah.
Would Richard do the Philly steak? But I do love the fact that he's a really good cook, because I
Yeah.
myself,
I'm mediocre. I'm not really like I do simple things like pastas and stuff. But what was good, I was looking after some people the other day, and I did a pasta dish. Now in my pasta dish, I put pine nuts. I put sweet corn. It's normally a seafood one, because this one doesn't eat meat, so I have to do a seafood one. And I remember somebody saying, "Oh, so anyway, they ate it. Everybody had seconds, right? Everybody had seconds, right?" And then anyway, the next day I made something with sweet corn. I can't remember what it was. I think it was like dauphinoise potatoes, mac and cheese, sweet corn, and then steak or something like that. I think I made. And I remember somebody saying, "Oh, I really don't like sweet corn. I hate sweet corn." And it was getting on his nerves because it was rolling into stuff. So I just took the sweet corn off his plate. And then he's like, "Oh yeah, I don't like sweet corn." I said, "Well, you ate it last night when I did the cheesy pasta." And he looked at me confused, and I was just like, "Yeah, you ate it last night when I made the cheesy pasta." He goes, "Huh?" He goes, "Oh, maybe it's because I couldn't taste it." And I was like, "Because you couldn't see it, you didn't know what it was."
So Richard said one of my hits is grilled chicken over grilled peppers, topped with guacamole, all homemade.
I'm not a lover of guacamole, but
I do like
guac.
guacamole. I've got to say, I would love to try yours. The sweet corn is really fresh here in the Midwest. We go to a local farm to get it, pick the same day. Oh, I imagine that was. Do you know what I always picture for Midwest? Just seas and seas of sweet corn, obviously fresh on the stalks.
Yeah.
Very much like in Smallville. You know, when you've got all the big what do you call it? The
stalks,
the corn.
When you're running through the fields of corn.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
It sounds scary to me.
Oh, you're thinking of Children of the Corn.
Yeah, it sounds scary to me.
This is wow, that sounds amazing. I'd love to try the fresh. Funny enough, because we get tinned Green Giant sweet corn, which is imported from the US.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I think
Green
so.
Giant was imported.
I'm pretty sure it's from the US. Yeah, grilled chicken over. But I love the fact that those grilled peppers. Do you actually do them on a? When you say grill, I'm not meaning on the grill. You actually do it on like not a skillet. What do you call it?
Barbecue.
No, you know, with the little pan with the rivets in it.
Oh, yeah. I forget what that pan's called.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Seared, that's it. I thought they were seared. And do you put oil with yours, or do you just sear them dry? Just out of interest. Yeah, correct. That's it, yeah.
The thing is, though, whenever I go to the States and they do something grilled, I always find it quite tasty. Whenever they do something grilled here in the UK, I always find it quite dry.
Well, I suppose it depends on the series. One thing I'm always impressed with the United States is the smoking. So when they smoke meat or smoke certain things, fish and things like that, because you get those big smoking machines.
Yeah.
Where they'll smoke it for hours and hours and hours. There's a YouTube channel that I used to watch called I think it was called Barbecue Boys or something like that, and they were just American bikers that just do smoking barbecue the lot, and some of those things look amazing.
I love a good barbecue.
Olive oil, salt and pepper before coating, so he's searing it. So yeah, the good old olive oil.
Yeah, it's just that every time, whenever I go to the States, and because in Bahama Breeze they used to do the I think it was almond encrusted salmon.
Oh yes, yes,
that's
was nice.
Really good. And so anytime we're at Bahama Breeze, I'll have that, because sometimes, like, if you eat meat all the time, it can be quite heavy. So I don't like to have meat all the time, but I will have it like 2 or 3 times a week. Like if I'm going to do a steak or something, and the rest of the time I'll have chicken or pancetta or something like that. Something just a little bit lighter. But I have steak at least once, sometimes twice a week. And then the rest of the time will be fish dishes or whatever.
That's interesting. Richard said in Florida, grilled red snapper is a hit for me. I've not tried that red snapper. I tell you what I did enjoy. So when we went to Florida, they had in the Cheesecake Factory was southern fried catfish.
Oh yeah, you really enjoyed that.
And I loved the southern fried catfish, and I was gutted because the next time we went, Cheesecake Factory have removed it from their menu. So I said, no, I was looking, I was scanning the menu. I said, oh, you guys used to do 7 fried catfish. And they said, oh, no, sorry, we took that off the menu a year or so ago. And I thought I so enjoyed the 7 fried catfish. So, Richard, would you like the 7 fried catfish? Do you prefer the 7 fried catfish, or do you prefer the grilled red snapper? Just out of interest.
But what was interesting I think that might have been the same day. There was a little family next to us, and the young boy, he wanted to order fish and chips. And it was just so funny to hear somebody order fish and chips. Now, one day,
come obviously all the way from England.
One day, I was in the US, and I asked for something. I can't remember what it was, but I asked for something in chips. Oh, because they said, "Oh, do you want chips or something else with it?" And I said, "Oh, I'll have chips, please." But in my mind, I was thinking, yeah, fries or thick chip. I don't know what you call thick chips over there, but that's what in my mind I was thinking. I was thinking of the thick fries.
Wedges, I think. They gave you crisps. Yeah,
they gave me crisps. I was like, what? What is this?
But you're in the wrong because you're in the wrong.
Potato chips. Yeah, no, totally. And I was just like, what is this? Potato chips. And I remember going to the cinema one time. This is my first time I was in the US. So this was back in '97. That was the first time that I went to the US. And I was in Disney. And at that time, there was a place called Downtown Disney, which they got rid of now. So there's no Downtown Disney. I think there's, what do they call it now? But it's Disney Springs? Disney Springs, yeah. But back in the day, there was a place called Downtown Disney, and they had a cinema in Downtown Disney. And I remember going in, and they said to me, "Oh yeah, what popcorn do you want?" I said, "Oh, can I get some popcorn, please?" And I was like, "What popcorn do you want?" And I said, "Oh, can I get sweet popcorn?" And they said, "Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am, we only do butter and salt." And I was just like, "What?" And I was just like, I was just like, my God. I said to him, "But you're one of the most advanced countries in the world, and you don't do sweet popcorn." It was so bizarre to me, because in the UK, we only have sweet or salt. And now they actually mix them. So now you can have salt and sweet. But over there, you only had butter and salt.
Well, that's in the cinema. I did notice it. There are stalls that we noticed when we went there, which do all kinds of flavors. Some of them are like key lime pie.
Gourmet, yeah, because a lot of places do cheese popcorn as well.
Oh, I like that.
Which is bizarre to me, cheese popcorn. But the thing was, I knew that I could get like caramel popcorn and all of that type of stuff outside, but they call them kernels. Well, at that time they used to call them kernels. I don't know what they call them now, but back then they called them kernels.
So Richard has done a little translation guide for us. So fries equal chips, chips equal crisps.
Yes.
Kelly, that was a good American accent.
Sorry, Mel. And I remember when my sister went for the first time. And we had to do a stop. I can't remember where. She was very young at the time, because she would have only been about seven, maybe 8. And we stopped off in between. I think for some reason I feel like we had to stop off in Canada. So it wasn't the States. But obviously, blasphemous as this is going to sound, the Canadian accent and the American accent are very similar to UK ears. So there's only certain words that if I hear them spoken, I think, he's Canadian or she's US. But it's only certain words. So if I don't hear those key words, then I wouldn't be able to tell the difference. And we stopped off in Canada, I think it was. And the lady said, "Oh, that'll be $1. And Zoe looked at me. She goes, "I really like the way they talk." I really like the way they talk. But equally, I know that they would have liked her accent. So, yeah.
I mean, I never get compliments for mine. I don't. It's just mine. What I think. But Kelly,
people stopped us before.
No, they like. So I remember Kelly went up to a lady when we were on the plane. I think you were trying to organise tickets, and you were explaining the problem. She was saying like this to you. And then you finished talking and you said, "Can you help us?" And she went, "I love your accent."
I can't remember that one.
Oh, did you visit Niagara Falls?
Do you know what? I went to New York. No, when we did the stopover in Canada, that was literally we were changing planes. So we didn't. I have been to Canada. I went to Toronto. I love Toronto. I've been to Toronto and I've been to New York. And would you believe it? and I've been to New York twice. Would you believe it? I've never been to Niagara Falls, and I've always wanted to go to Niagara Falls. And wouldn't that be cool to see both?
I've never
both sides.
No, I've never been to Detroit, so I have so I've not been to.
No,
it's not Detroit.
No, not Detroit. Niagara Falls is in Canada.
Yeah.
And then, but I think it's in Toronto,
So,
right? It's Niagara in Toronto.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry, the reason why I said Detroit, because I know Detroit overlooks Canada. That's why I was getting confused. But yeah, you're right.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
You can see Canada from Detroit if you're at a certain place.
Oh, right. But yeah. So you got one part of Niagara Falls is in Toronto, I believe, right, and then the other one is in New York.
New York, that's right. I was thinking New York,
and
Detroit.
I've been to both Toronto and to New York. And I've been to New York twice. I've only been to Canada once, and I've not seen Niagara Falls.
So Richard said it's majestic. The falls surround you on the boat ride to the falls. Is the boat called Lady of the Mist? Is that right? I'm sure I read that somewhere. It was called Lady of the Mist.
If I went there, I would think of Superman, because of course and you see the Lady of the Mist. Actually,
is it called Lady of the Mist?
Yeah, you do. It's called Lady of the Mist.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
But was he on the Canadian side in Superman? I don't know if it was. I don't know if it was. I didn't get the sense of New York side. I got the sense that it might have been the Canada side. I think. I'm not sure. But yeah, I would like to I'd like to do both sides, the Canadian and the American.
Yeah,
I think so.
Do you know what? That's something, because we've never done that Niagara Falls, have we?
No.
I would love to do that.
And you've not been to Canada before?
No, I've never been to Canada.
Yeah, I absolutely love Toronto.
Yeah,
it's
you
lovely.
said actually you actually loved. I think New York we've done.
Yeah, New York
Vegas
we've done. Vegas,
and Florida we've done, of course.
Yeah, and
that is it. I'm afraid. For me, anyway.
That's it with regards to the States. Yeah, we've only done New York, Vegas, and Florida.
Yeah.
And only one part of Florida, which has been where the Disney
Orlando, silly, but I would like to try Miami as well. That's one place I would really, really like to try if you're going to Florida. Tampa Bay as well, I wouldn't mind going to, and the Gold Coast.
I've been to Tampa Bay, but I only went to Busch Gardens.
Okay.
I've been to Busch Gardens, Tampa Bay, I think twice, but for me personally, I didn't really rate Busch Gardens, but I know a load of people do love Busch Gardens, so I would never slate it or anything like that, but it just wasn't for me. And I think the first time when we went to the first couple of times when we went to Florida, we never went to Animal Kingdom.
No,
because for me, again, Animal Kingdom isn't all that, but when they did the ride, which was Flight of the Avatar, I think it was called.
Passage of something. Flight of Passage.
Flight of Passage. And I remember we did go to the park, but the queue was massive. I said, right, do you know what? We're not even going to queue for this. I've got to say, the barbecue food there for me is really good. And then a friend of mine who'd been that same, well, she's not a friend, but a colleague of mine who'd been that same year, I said to her, was it worth queuing up for? She goes, yes, absolutely. So we went the following year. We got up early. We got there early.
Yeah, we did.
And it was such an amazing ride. It's the best ride I've ever done in my whole life. And that's saying something, because I've done quite a few rides, but I'm not a roller coaster girl, really. But the Gringotts ride is like a roller coaster. And there's another Harry Potter ride that's like a roller coaster, but like an up in the air roller coaster sort of thing. But yeah, I've got to say that Flight of Passage was really, really amazing. So if anybody's ever going to Orlando, to any of the parks, definitely go to Animal Kingdom. Definitely queue up for Flight of Passage. It's amazing.
So Richard says, travel tip: if you're in Chicago, the Hancock Tower, 96th floor, you can enjoy cocktails and look out over the city. Do you know, actual fact, I know we haven't mentioned Chicago. We have been to Chicago, but not to look around. So a few times when we've taken flights to the United States, what tends to happen is our connecting flight will either go to Chicago or Detroit. So we've never had the pleasure of doing Chicago. Now, I have read that certain airlines, if your flight is delayed by, I think it's over 4 hours, you get a free tour of the city.
Oh.
Now, we would have got that when we went to Mauritius because in Istanbul.
Yeah, but we went delayed.
No, because it's over 4 hours. You get a free tour of the city. I think we were not delay, but our
layover
was 8 hours. So apparently we qualified for a free tour of the city. I'm pretty sure I'm right in saying that. So one day we'll have to think about doing that. If we have a connecting flight, see if we can get a tour of Chicago.
Yeah, we can. Well, you can choose which connecting flight that you have, so you can actually elongate that and then have. But I would definitely like to do LA. If ever we have a layover in LA, I would definitely love to do.
I don't think you would do it LA because it's not on the way to somewhere, is it? So we would do.
Haven't we stopped in LA before when we've gone to Vegas?
No, because LA is so close to Vegas. So it's always been we've gone to. I think the way it works is because for us, if we ever do a connecting flight, it's always in North America because the taxes are cheaper. So it'll either be Chicago or it'll be Detroit, and then we go south. That's what we've always done. But yeah, so our connecting flights have always been. But I would love to try Chicago because we could definitely pick your brain as to where to go in Chicago.
There was a lady I knew, and she was leaving. Her brother lived in Chicago, and I think she was leaving to go to Chicago. Actually.
Yeah, I think Mark is right. LA is west of your destination.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, because it's right on, isn't it? It's really close on the west coast. I mean, you're talking because that's sort of California way then.
I remember going into what's the shop? Bloomingdale's, I think it was. I went into Bloomingdale's and I was like, oh, do you have, they do these bags, don't they? Like little brown bag and all of this type of stuff. And I remember going into, and she goes, oh no, we only do it on such and such a coast. And I don't know the difference between East and West Coast, right?
Kelly.
And so she was saying to me, oh no, we only do it in this. And I was just like, oh, okay. Then I just thought, what part of that is this? I don't know if I was in, it wouldn't have been New York because New York would have done it. So it must have been when we were in Florida. And I've got a really good deal on perfume there. Yes, it must have been there. And I said, oh, do you have it? And they go, oh, no, we only do it on
always remember the thing. So it goes, there's two ways you can do it. You could never.
No, I know my, what I'm saying is when she said West Coast, I don't know what country, I don't know what states are in the West and what states are in the East. But I do know my northeast. I know my northeast, southwest.
I thought that's what you were saying.
No, that I know. I know my left and my right and my northeast, southwest. Yes, those I know. But I don't know what. If I was looking at a map, in my mind, I wouldn't be able to say, "Oh yeah, Vegas is over there and New York is down there," or whatever. No, I don't know.
You know, in New York is the best way to think about it is the length of the flight from us. So anything that's short will be on the East Coast for us because we're coming from the east side. Anything on the west will take longer for us to get to because that's on the farther side. So we go across the Atlantic. So,
but it takes about 8 or 9 hours to get to New York, and that's the same distance roughly it takes to get to.
It's less time. So it's about 6 or 7 hours from New York, and then Vegas is about further on. So remember, think of the time frame. So New York is about 5 hours behind. Vegas is about 8 hours behind for us. So it's further west.
All I remember is to get to New York is about 8 hours, and to get to Florida is about 8 or 9 hours. That's the only thing that I'm thinking. Well, they're not on the same coast, but yet it's roughly around the same amount of hours.
Rich has asked a good question. He said, "Doesn't the heat get to you in Florida parks?" Do you know what, Richard? Very interesting that you say that. I find the heat in England harder to bear than in Florida. And I know that seems weird because so for example, it's 28 degrees here, Celsius. So what's that? 80 something Fahrenheit, about 80, approaching 90. But when we were in Florida, it was about 92 degrees Fahrenheit. So about 32, 33 degrees Celsius. But the heat is very different. In London, the heat is very muggy. It's very, very muggy, very, very close. Because obviously there's a lot of air pollution here. Well, not a lot, but there is air pollution here. All the buildings tend to heat up. It gets very hot, very sticky. But I found in Florida and very much in Vegas, actually, even though it was even hotter in Vegas. So that was about 40. That was over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. It's a very, very dry heat.
Yeah, I found that I am in Vegas, I'm a lot thirstier.
Yeah.
I feel drier.
Yeah.
In Vegas. And when we go to Florida, when I was younger, we'd go in sort of like May, or there's even been a time I've been in August, which was crazy. Not May, sorry, I've been June. I've been June and I've been July. I've been June, July, and August, right? So I have been in those 3 months before. And it's been so hot. I found it very difficult, and I was younger back then, and I found it very, very difficult to walk. So what I then started doing, I started switching it up, and then I thought, we'll go in November. So we've been in November, we've been in September. September is quite a lot of rain though sometimes.
Hurricane season.
We've been in November, we've been in September, and we've been in an April. I think we've been March and April.
Yeah, we have. I mean, but when we went in April, it was really hot. That was when it was 32, so 100 and something degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
But it was really hot then. No,
it was unusual. It
was
unusual.
For that time of year. So, but no, sorry, it wasn't as hot as that. It's about 95, 96. Important to say hydrated in the parks down there. Yeah, absolutely. But I did notice, so when we were in Vegas, for example, I'd walk outside, and like I say, now here in England, I feel all sticky and hot. So it's not that hot. It's certainly nowhere near as hot as it would be in Vegas, but it's a very dry heat. So I wasn't getting sweaty in Vegas, but the heat is so intense. I've never experienced anything like that. I remember I walked out into the sun. I was like, whoa, that is hot. It was almost like someone got a magnifying glass and was trying to cook me from above. It was so intense, the heat. So we would just go in from aircon to aircon to aircon building. You can't stay out in the heat too long. But like I said, I don't get really sweaty in somewhere like Vegas or Florida, not as I would here. So it's a lot muggier here, if that makes sense.
I think also what helps with us is that in places like Vegas and in places like Florida, there's excellent aircon.
Yeah, there is.
Excellent. You can walk in any shop and cool off, and it's brilliant. When we go to somewhere like Lanzarote, there is no shops that you can go to that like have really good aircon and things like that. There was only one shop actually, Fundagrube.
Yeah.
Fundagrube does actually have aircon.
The rest have just got fans which blow hot air around me.
Just circulating hot air. And here in the UK, we don't have very good aircon. Today when I was in Canterbury, hey Neha's
back. Oh, she's back. Hello.
When we went to Canterbury today, it was quite warm out, but I walked into Tesco and it was lovely. I don't think I've ever felt aircon like it as when I went into. I was like, oh my god! I was like, oh, it's lovely and cool in here. I was like, oh my god, and it was really nice. But we don't tend to have a lot of places that have, because in the UK.
It's when I was eating a twirl
now. It's not hot all year round for us. So in the summertime like this, the summers are actually getting a lot more hotter and better for us. And we haven't had, we've had rain, but it's rained more in the evenings rather than during the day. And yeah, we've had sort of nice days when I've been able to sit outside and sort of enjoy the sun. You've been in the conservatory. And all of that type of stuff. So it's been a nice, and now we're going to have a heat wave, and that for us is like really quite nice. It's not, so we're not as lucky, because like in the States, normally if there's a country that's going to have a summer, they actually have a summer.
Well,
so
I was going to say, so interesting for Chicago, because I do know you do get extremes. I mean, it can be really, really cold in Chicago, I've read, but like I said, very, very humid. I have an AC running now, very humid here. Because I do know you do get the extremes. We don't really get that. We do get cold weather here, but it doesn't tend to go in the minuses that often. So it might do for a month or so, but not as regular. And it certainly doesn't go often below like -1, -2.
Yeah.
But then that being said, it never rarely goes above 30 here, degrees Celsius. So it rarely goes above 90 here.
But for a country that is known for cold weather and rain, we cannot cope. When it's cold, we can't cope.
Yeah.
When it's raining, we can't cope. When it's hot, we can't go. The country comes to a standstill if it's anything extreme, right? So if it rains all the time, oh, there's something wrong with the rails. This is happening. The trains get cancelled. All of this type of stuff. When it snows, I don't know what happens, but the whole country comes to a standstill.
So
It's
Nahar
crazy.
has asked, lol. Nahar's asked, have you guys watched part 2 yet of Stranger Things?
We have.
We did. Now
We
I
did.
know you didn't like it. Please don't do any spoilers, just in case
no
nobody's
spoilers.
seen it. But I did. Nahar,
I really enjoyed it.
I really liked it, and I do think number one, Vecna is brilliant. I do think it's really good.
Yeah.
I know it's sad. I know that the scene that you're talking about. Did that really upset you? I was watching on YouTube. I'm not going to say just in case anybody don't want to spoil it for anybody, but I typed in the scene you think is sad. You just spoiled it. Did I?
Well, you said that it's sad and all of that.
No, that's not. You said it was sad. The scene you're talking about, which is sad. People's reactions to it. People started crying on that scene. It did actually affect me because I thought when I was watching it, I've got to say it without ruining it, I was like, no. You just said, 001 Vecna. Oh yeah, I did. Oh, I've blown it now. Look at that. I've just ruined it. Sorry, everybody.
That's what I don't tend to talk about things.
For people who haven't watched season, yeah, you're right. Season 4. Vecna's my gran. That's my mum that's watching it. Mark the spoiler. I know. I'm gonna have to go now. I've ruined it.
He does this all the time. But anyway,
you have to cut this bit out of the chat.
But what were we talking about?
Sorry,
we were talking about.
Sorry, everybody, my fault.
The extreme weather here. It's just everything comes to a standstill. I don't know why in this country we can't function. Because I was saying like in Canada when they have the extreme snow, they can function very well. We're a country that is known for rain. We can't function when it's raining here. I don't know what happens. Everything goes like, oh, there's leaves on the line. What do you mean there's leaves on the line? What do you mean there's leaves on the line? It's crazy here. That's all I can say.
Oh, no, she didn't answer our question. Did she prefer Steve or did you prefer Nancy's boyfriend? You were
She said she. Oh, I didn't answer it.
No, Nahar didn't answer it.
She did. She said she likes Nancy's boyfriend.
You prefer
she said everybody thinks the other one, Steve, is hot.
Oh,
but
right,
she
okay.
doesn't. She thinks, is it Jonathan? She thinks Jonathan's hot.
That was it. You prefer Jonathan over to Steve.
But I think that's the consensus, isn't it? The consensus is that Steve's the hot one, but Jonathan not so much. And it's who do you lean towards? Is the question.
Did you prefer Steve or did you prefer Jonathan?
I mean, they're both nice guys, but at the beginning, Steve is not so much.
Yeah, I know. It's amazing how they changed his character. Well, not changed his character. I think he was always like that. But when you first see him, he's a right idiot.
Yeah, and I think that, I don't know. Because I don't find either of them attractive for me. And normally, if I can see someone go, oh, yeah, if I was younger, I think, that's the sort of person I would have gone for. But no, I wouldn't have gone for either of them. I'm even trying to think of other characters that have been in it, but no, there isn't anybody that I think. Oh,
there you are, your preference there.
I would have thought Dustin was hilarious. I would have tried to have made friends with Dustin because I think if I was younger and I met Dustin, I would think he was hilarious and I would really like him. So
Risa said, tip of the day, issue a spoiler alert before spilling the beans. Well, actual fact, I hope it hasn't spoiled it too much because unless you'd have to go up to that season to know who the character is. But what we will do is you will cut that bit out when we put the live in thing and we're all good to go. Same, lol. Nahar said, she goes, I wanted Dustin at my school.
Yeah. I would have been real good friends with him. I think he is funny and all of that. And I think I always would have wanted to have, been friends with Dustin, I think. The others, not so much. I would have liked them. Don't get me wrong. I would have liked them. Not as in not so much. But what I mean to say is they wouldn't have stood out for me in a crowd, is what I'm saying, whereas Dustin would.
So Nahar and Kelly, if you were dating Dustin when you were younger, would you call him Dusty Bun?
First of all, I wouldn't have dated Dustin. That's the first thing. And I probably, as a joke, would say, "Oh, Dusty Bun."
Oh, can you imagine that if there was somebody called Dusty at school, they're going to be called Dusty Bun.
Yeah,
they will get called.
They will get called Dusty Bun. Yeah.
That's just unfortunate. That is just unfortunate, but that's the way it is. I would have kept him as a friend. Yeah, because he's a nice guy.
Yeah, I mean, but do you know what? Some guys, well, when I was going to school, there was a guy I was really good friends with, and somebody came up to me and said, "Oh, are you?" I think his name was Paul. Said, "Oh, are you dating Paul?" I said, "No," but then guys were going up to him, going, "Oh, are you dating Kelly?" He's like, "No," and then he stopped talking to me.
And I said, however, I would have dated Jonathan. He was my age.
Jonathan is a nice guy, and I think he's a nice guy, but he's, again, I don't even think I would have looked at him even to be friends. I think the only person to me that would have stood out, like, to me, if I had seen Steve, I would have just thought, "Oh, he's just an idiot." Like all the girls, oh god,
you girls are so difficult to please.
Do you know what? Because he's the popular boy, and I wouldn't have really. I mean, there was one popular guy at school that I did like, and I did think he was nice, but he was my type, whereas Steve wasn't. Yeah, Steve isn't and would never have been my type.
No, I said people call him ugly, but he's not. None of them are ugly. None
of them are ugly. None of them are ugly. It's just about you're talking about the character here, so because they're not real people. They're not real people, obviously, but you're looking at the character and how they've written, how the writers have written them. Would you yourself find them attractive? And me myself, I wouldn't have found them attractive, but it was nice to see Steve actually was a nice. That Nancy was, right, and he was a nice guy.
Never-ending story.
More spoilers.
I was just singing a song. No, I said I want a Jonathan, and she put it in capitals. Now,
I want a Jonathan now.
Well, if that guy then does the same thing to you again, that's what you should say to him. Ashfar, I want a Jonathan, not a you. I want a Jonathan. Can I have a sip of the other? Not that one.
Oh, not the banana one.
Not the banana one. So, no, you missed this bit. We sampled 2 of the new Starbucks ones.
And I'm just drinking my own.
Oh, God, they've gone a bit warm now. They've been sat there for an hour and a half. They're not too bad. But, yeah, so would I recommend...
You're acting like you're bossy. You'll drink that in a minute.
I will drink that in a minute. I probably wouldn't buy them just purely because of the cost per ratio. I'd rather go for a coffee. I'm not really into fraps. But if someone said, let me buy you a frap, I wouldn't go for those. Although my favourite frap is the strawberries and cream.
I was going to say you'd probably go for it. But if I wanted something fruity, I would definitely go for the raspberry and passion fruit. Because sometimes I feel, do you know what? I find the caramel one a bit heavy. And I've had the strawberries and cream is okay. Do you know what I mean? I like it as fruit. But I would now go for the raspberry and if I wanted something fruity, I'd go for the raspberry and passion fruit.
Nahar asked, don't your guys' legs hurt from sitting that long? Do you know what? That's a very good question. What I end up doing is this. You'll see me move around a lot. So I do keep readjusting for that reason. Because we sit pretty much for 2 hours to do our lives. So I do a lot of shuffle just to keep moving around like that. But I suppose it's no different like being in an office, or I suppose for you being at school, with the fact that you have to sit down for long periods of time.
It doesn't bother me per se. You need a back for your seat.
Yeah, I do, because
I don't for a couple of hours, because in my mind I'm just this is how I rationalize things in my mind. So if it's a long flight, I think it's just a shift at work, or if it's a longer flight, that's a double shift at work. So I don't put it in, oh my god, this flight's gonna be like that. Doesn't even enter my mind, because I would do a shift at work. So if I can do an 8-hour shift at work or a double shift at work, which would be 16 hours, it would be fine. That means I can fly to, most places. I think I would probably have a bit of a time to go to Australia or somewhere like that, because I think that's like 24 hours.
Well, I suppose
that would be a bit difficult.
The other thing would be as well, because we are doing a lot of talking and chatting to you guys as well, it takes our mind obviously thinking about leg position. So I'll do that sometimes just to sort of rearrange and things like that. But, I suppose our thoughts about reading your comments, coming up with new stuff as well, like that. So for me, I suppose that distracts me a little bit.
Yeah.
Thinking, but you are right. It does. When I do, it's funny when we do finish the live, when we end it, and I stand up, I go, "Oh God, I'm stiff."
Yeah, I do. Yeah, but that's for me when I'm sitting down anywhere. If I've been sitting down for a long time and then I get up, I do feel stiff anyway.
Yeah.
But sitting down here for a couple of hours doesn't really affect me, really.
No.
So I can sit here for a couple of hours. I mean, I sit here and I'll work on the laptop, if that makes sense. So I'll normally sit on. So the chair that Mark is sitting on, if I'm going to sit for long periods of time, I will sit on a chair that has a back, and then I'll get on and do work. But I think, do you know what? Because for years I've sat in awkward positions at work and stuff like that. I think for me, doing this, like in my one of my first jobs, I had to stand for 8 hours, like literally stand. I couldn't sit down. The only time I could sit down was when I would sit down for half an hour at lunchtime, and that would be it. And then I'd be back to work, and I would stand for 8 hours a day. So it wasn't really a problem for me. So I could stand for long periods of time. I could walk for long periods of time and stuff like that. Now, so then when I then sort of transitioned to more of a sit down job, to sit down for long periods of time again doesn't really bother me. But also I never used to really use the back of my chair anyway, because I'd be sitting forward typing away doing whatever, or seeing something, or getting up and doing drinks and coffees and things like that. So yeah,
Richard said the same thing. That's half for standing for 8 hours.
Yeah.
No, you're not. She said, I'm the only one here. No, Richard's here too. But however, guys, talking of long standing thing, it has been 2 hours nearly. So I think we're going to leave it there for tonight. But we wanted to say a big thank you for myself and Kelly for joining us. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
We've really... No, don't go.
No, we have to at some point.
I know we do.
We'll
We go 2 hours. Talking of which, it's been yeah. But thank you so much for joining us. We've really enjoyed talking to you, as we always do. We love chatting to you guys, and it's been absolutely fun. Nahar, you have got your holiday coming up, so you've got plenty to enjoy. But don't forget that guy does like you, but tell him he's not your Jonathan.
Yeah, you're not my Jonathan.
But yeah, take care with yourselves as well. Look after yourselves, please, above all. And hopefully we will see you next week when we are back. Tuesday, 6 p.m. usual time for our live. Have a fantastic weekend, everybody out there watching. I hope you have a fantastic weekend, whatever you get up to do. And we will see you then. Until next time, take care, look after yourselves, and remember, you're never too old to have fun. We will see you next live. Bye for now.
Bye for now.